Ahoy hoy fellow bookworms, my name is Caroline and I like to read books, so let's talk about them. Today's video is a massive book haul because, let's be honest, I have no self-control when it comes to buying books. Just quickly, I do have this parcel that arrived the other day, so I'm gonna unbox that. Alright, so first up there's just the introductory card that says it was created by D.E. Knight, and I think that's the author of the book. Oh my god, there's bubble wrap! Ooh! That is actually super cool. Whoa. And then we have the book, which is The Crowns of Croswald by D.E. Knight. I've seen a few other people unbox this, but I haven't seen that many reviews yet. From what I just read on the blurb, it does sound like it's going to be quite a fun story. It follows a 16-year-old main character who goes to a magic school. And you guys know I always love stories that take place at a magic school because they are so much fun. It also mentions that there's this enchanted boundary between the mundane world and the magical world, and there's fairies on the cover, and I haven't read that many books about fairies, so I'm definitely intrigued. This has actually been signed by the author as well, which is super cool, so thank you to D.E. Knight and the team for sending me this package. Onto the book haul now, and the first two books I picked up are books of poetry. So I got The Chaos of Longing by K.Y. Robinson, and I Wrote This For You, Just the Words by Ian S. Thomas. The funny thing is that when I ordered these, I was really in the mood for some poetry and I was really excited to read them, but because I ordered them from Book Depository and I live in Australia, they took quite a while to arrive, so like 3 weeks later when they got to me, I just wasn't really in the mood for poetry, so I haven't read either of these yet, but I am still quite interested to. The next book I bought was 10 Things I Can See From Here by Carrie Mack. This book follows our main character Maeve, who suffers with severe anxiety as she moves to Vancouver to live with her dad because her mum is moving overseas for 6 months and Maeve can't go with her. And Vancouver comes with this whole string of new worries for her and stresses, but as she kind of settles into her routine, she strikes up a bit of a romance with a girl called Salix, which is really sweet, and the whole book is about like family troubles and anxiety and being comfortable with yourself and new love, and it's just this really sweet story. I've already read it and I did quite enjoy it. I talked about it in my May wrap-up. It was really good. I liked the female-female romance in it a lot. I do think certain conflicts were resolved too quickly, but overall a really cute story. Next up I got Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami, which is a collection of his short stories. My boyfriend bought me this one because I was feeling really down with my migraines, and he knows the quickest way to cheer me up is to buy me a book, and I read it pretty much straight away and I really enjoyed it. It was a bit of a mixed bag, but it was really interesting to read short stories by an author who I had previously only read books by, so I enjoyed it, but probably not as much as I was expecting to. The next book I got is One Day We'll All Be Dead and None of This Will Matter by Sachi Cool. This is a collection of essays about her experiences growing up in Canada as the daughter of Indian immigrants and the casual racism she experienced and stuff like that. I haven't read this yet, but when I do, I think I'm really going to enjoy it and find it super interesting. I've also heard that the way she writes about her experiences is strangely funny, so I'm quite looking forward to it. After that, I got We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this is just the tiniest book that will ever be on my shelves, but I really wanted to get it because I love the TED Talk that she did so much that I just wanted to support her in some way, and so I bought the book as well. Next up, I got Gacha Gocha by Vivek Shanbag. I heard Ariel Bissett talk about this on her channel, and I was so intrigued by the story that I just had to pick it up. This is the author's first book that's been translated into English, and it's very short and follows this family in India who live a very poor life. They live under one roof, they share all their money, they spend it very sparingly, and then suddenly they come into money, and it's all about how their family dynamic changes when the money isn't the center of their life. And it's a really interesting story. It is only 119 pages and I really enjoyed it. It was very interesting and very well written. The next book I got is Girlfriend in a Coma by Douglas Copeland, which has such a nice, like, minimalist cover. Pretty much all I know about this book is that our main character's girlfriend is in a coma for like years and years and years, and that the story steadily grows more surreal. I've been wanting to read something by Douglas Copeland for quite a while. I don't know if this is the right place to start, but it's just the one that I was most intrigued by, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. After that, I bought The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat by Oliver Sacks, and I'm seriously so fucking excited to finally own this because whenever I saw this in bookstores, it was so expensive that it was ridiculous, and then online I saw it cheap for like the first time ever and just jumped on it, so I am really excited that I finally own this book. I just think this is going to be really interesting to read because it's all about the most bizarre neurological cases that he's ever encountered, and I think it's going to be really fascinating. The next thing I got is the reason why this book haul has like 40 books in it. It's the full box set of Full Metal Alchemist. I'm so happy. Holding this up is really testing my arm strength, but I'm going to do it anyway because I love showing this off. Basically, my boyfriend and I had both been wanting this for ages, but it wasn't really top of our list of priorities. And then it was super cheap on Book Depository for whatever reason, and neither of us could say no to it, so we ended up with the full 27 volume box set. And I have already read them all. I binge read them in July. It was so much fun. I'm going to be doing a full series review soon, so you guys can be looking forward to that. The next book I got is Volume 7 of Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is probably my favorite volume of the series so far. I think it was just so well crafted and so amazing and so emotional. It was genuinely phenomenal and I loved it. It made me cry. It was just great, so yeah, Saga is the best. After that, I decided it was time for a new fantasy book in my life, so I picked up The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. Honestly, I don't really know what this book is about. I just remember reading the blurb in the bookstore and thinking it sounded super fucking cool, and on the back it says that it's for fans of Brandon Sanderson and people who like epic fantasy, and that's me, so I picked it up. Also, I'm pretty sure the author is Australian, which is super cool too. After that, one of my pre-orders arrived, and it's The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. This is a book that I've been looking forward to for ages, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it. It follows our two main characters, Monty and Percy, as they go on this grand tour of Europe before they have to settle down and do like grown-up things and take care of their families and stuff like that. It's set in, I think, Elizabethan times, and it turns into a bit of a male-male romance between Monty and Percy, and it just sounds like it's gonna be such a fun book. I've been hearing amazing things, and I think I'm absolutely gonna fucking love this book. Next book I picked up is Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia, and this is another book I'm like super excited to read because I've been hearing nothing but good things about this book. All I really know about the story in this book is that our main character Eliza is the anonymous creator of this online webcomic or web series, and no one at her school knows that it's her, obviously, and then a new guy starts who she kind of starts developing feelings for or something like that, and he's a massive fan of the series and things kind of develop or something like that. And I've heard a lot of people say that it's super relatable and stuff like that, so I think this is going to be a really cute story. The final book in this massive book haul is Godblind by Anna Stephens. This is a debut fantasy novel, and so far I've been hearing incredibly mixed reviews, but I'm still interested to read it because I believe this is a grimdark fantasy, and I've never really read a grimdark fantasy before. I read the blurb of this, but it doesn't really give too much away, so I'm hoping to get to this in August, but who knows when I will get to it. That brings us to the end of this book haul though, guys. If you have read any of the books that I mentioned, be sure to let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. I upload videos Wednesdays, Saturdays, and sometimes Mondays as well, so be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Toodaloo!